Hey Internet, I'm Chaz.
And I'm Dan. Welcome to Wine is Serious Business Extreme Edition.
We're mountain climbing today in the vineyards with Daniel Immich. So we're on some of your vineyards, right?
Exactly. That's the Eisbruch vineyard.
Eisbruch vineyard in Enkircher.
Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. So we rode this crazy monorail up to the top of the vineyard, and we're gonna taste some wine. Getting blasted by the sun. It's amazing to feel like what the grapes feel all summer long. It's pretty wild. So.
Yeah, we don't usually do 2 interviews with one person within a year, but for obvious reasons, we can make an exception here.
Yeah.
We'll cut in some good pictures of the surrounding view too.
Yeah.
And also at the end we can I shot video coming up this thing, so we can always throw that in.
Oh
at
yeah.
the end. Yeah. So.
All
right. So what are we drinking? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So.
Yeah, I guess we should talk about the wine.
I'm so sunblasted and tired. I'm not making any sense. So.
Hey, where I have my sunglasses? So.
I know where they're for the one show where they're appropriate. We forgot them. Right?
All right.
I'm part of the Mosel Mafia today.
There we go.
So yeah.
Ah.
So this is the 2013.
That's exactly. It's 2013 Alte Reben from the Vineyard. The Eisbruch where we are right now standing is part of the Vineyard, and this Alte Reben means old wines. So most of the grapes where we harvest our wine, around about some. The wines are at minimum 90 years old, up to 110, maybe 120. So the wines are planted by my great-grandfather, and the effect is because the wines are so old that you don't harvest so much, but because you don't harvest so much, the aroma is so intense and it's so full-bodied that it's not something you can do artificially, and which is really special. So.
And do you get about half the yield out of an old vine, or is it less?
It's even less.
Okay.
Sometimes you just pick maybe 1 or 2 grapes. I mean, we are standing right here. You just can see the clusters are really small.
They're tiny.
They're really tiny.
Don't die.
But I mean, if you taste them, I mean, probably right now, not right now, but maybe in a few weeks before harvest, they're really tasty and aromatic. And this is how the wine tastes. So it's really full-bodied. So it's really enjoyable. And the other thing is, sometimes being a winemaker is also being like doing some economy, because you have to run a company. But I mean, for economic reasons, is having like such old vineyards is, well, not very economy friendly, because I mean, you don't harvest so much, and I mean, you have a lot of costs. But in the end, these wines are so much fun that we just continue with this, and it's so cool because I mean, I told you before that this vineyard was planted by my great-grandfather, and it's so cool that I still can use these grapes from the plants he planted here, and it's something unbelievable actually, and it's so cool working here. I love it. So
yeah,
awesome.
I think it's great that people keep them in, because it's so rare. I mean, there are so few places in the world that can work with vines that old, and it is a really great piece of cultural heritage. So yeah, I think it's great that you and others that keep their old vines around are preserving that. So even though the accountant probably doesn't think that's the best idea. So,
yeah.
And I mean, it's like what we also trying to do always in our wine estate, or what I am trying to do, is like combining like tradition with the modern type of winemaking, and like always coming back to your roots, which is like my kind of idea how to live and how to run a company. And because something is old, it's not necessary just to get rid of it because it's old. So it's even far more cooler because that's more tradition and more depthness.
I agree.
I think you get a lot of just like really full, like fresh apple and pear fruit on the nose on this, kind of like with the skins, like show fresh fruit on the table.
With most of all of my wines, I'm doing a maceration time up to 12, maybe sometimes 24 hours, in order to get more fruit out of the grapes, and in the end to have more aroma. And it's also wild fermented and cold fermented.
And is that maceration time typical amongst your colleagues, or is that longer than most?
Well, for my father's generation, it wasn't that that typical. So I started with when I oh, you're thirsty.
Yeah. Long hike up the hill.
Yeah. So when I took over the business in 2009, I introduced the maceration time again. So because I think it's a traditional way to do it. So and it makes the wines always richer and full more bodies. So this is the way to go. But definitely for Riesling. I mean, you do it with red wines for even longer.
Sure.
But I mean, a nice white wine, nice Riesling has even more balanced aroma in the end. So this is the way to go, I guess, for my opinion.
Yeah.
So how did you like the monorail?
It's fantastic and very stable, like you said. It was fun to really see like the motors in there too, and like that it's wheels on the teeth instead of teeth on teeth, right? So that it really is a good lock in there, and
it's a Honda engine, so.
Oh, is it? Yeah, like a lawnmower engine or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's basically a lawnmower on track, so.
Yeah.
Chaz's cars are basically lawnmowers too.
Oh, so. Horrible. A bit more power. Yeah. A small amount. So the wine is texturally very nice, like stone fruity, good sense of minerality on the finish, like the acid and sort of like wet stones or something. It's delicious though. And really refreshing up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I heartily recommend. I think this pairs very well with a short walk uphill in the sun. Like, it really.
Right
really
now, I mean, we have right now, it's already September, but still it is like 26, 27 degrees Celsius, which is nearly, what is it in Fahrenheit? Nearly 90. Right now.
Wow.
It's nearly 90.
Oh, it feels less than that. So, there's a nice breeze, I guess.
And because of the breeze, and during summertime it's like 50 degrees Celsius in here, so during like during the day, and which is, when it's so hot in here, then it's not possible to work because it's so hot here. So
yeah, that's as hot as anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
What I didn't realize about this place until I got here and talked to a few people and then saw it is that how much sun it gets off the river is just remarkable. I mean,
the river reflects the sun. The even the rocks reflect the sun. So, and it's like doubling it all the time.
Yeah,
so
sure. I can feel it. So, pretty amazing.
So another thing about this this wine is, so we included on the German original label a picture from. I mean, maybe you can put it later.
I always do.
Yep. Whatever.
Yeah. We'll take
so the picture shows a harvest from 1921. And in the backyard, or in the back in the photo, you see exactly this vineyard here, and the woman sitting here, she's my great-grandmother, and they're just taking a coffee break, whatever, from harvesting. And you probably know that 1921 was one of the best vintages ever in the Mosel. And so anyway, we still have this picture. We have all this things in our family album, and so we thought it's a good connection with like Alte Reben, old wines, and this old picture. So
it's cool.
Yeah.
Great package.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we should hit the next wine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, be careful.
Don't fall down the hill.
No.
When we finish up the video, keep watch for it. I'm gonna pan sort of down and out, and you can see exactly what we're dealing with here.
It's too bad you don't have your GoPro. That'd be amazing to just push the GoPro down the hill.
Or do a first-person point of view tasting from here.
Yeah.
Throw some point of view shots in.
So, okay.
Yeah, I got it. All right.
You see, everything is kind of improvised so far. All right.
All right. Yeah.
So, what you guys are actually right now tasting is, which you haven't had before, right? 213 Eisbruch.
Okay.
So very fresh.
It's officially right now not released yet, because we think this wine needs a bit more time to ripen in the bottle. 213 was really difficult here because we had a lot of problems with spurts and wild boars in here. So the wild boars are coming into this vineyard and like eating the grapes literally, and also we had a lot of problems with like fungus and stuff, so the grapes start to rot quite early. And also like hailstorm, like 2013 was like a mess of a year when it comes to like quantity. So we harvested less than 60% than the normal vintage. But I mean, you smell the wine right now, and it's like already getting extraordinary. So I mean, it's again, I mean, what you see all those rocks here down. Like we have a lot of blue slate in here, and you can even taste the rocks in the wine. You can even smell it. It's like, I love it. I mean, Eisbruch is my most favorite wine so far.
And it's really his trademark wine in the Oregon market. For those of you who pick up his wines through Teutonic Wine Company, the Eisbruch is definitely like that, and your Zect, I guess, are like is your main presence in the American market.
Exactly.
And you know, and really probably the wine that really first struck me out of the ones that you make too, because I think that minerality really shows fully.
Oh, it does.
And you'll hear us saying a lot as we write up notes, and from other shows we've done on this trip, we talk about a saline minerality, and I think this is different. Like this is showing, just other earthy characters and not as much of the saline. Salty is too strong of a word, I think, but still kind of in like sea.
I know what you mean. That's kind of minerality. I would describe it. And then and all like my other wines, they're wild fermented, cold fermented, and maceration time again. And no, I don't use any kinds of enzymes and any kinds of artificial stuff. So I mean, the way the wine tastes, it's just natural. So that's the way it is. I mean, that's the way I always say it again. So, but Barnaby Tuttle is like, he's kind of like we are on the same kind of, you know, how we make wine. So that's.
And the fruit here is so full that I would never guess that it's a Trocken wine if it didn't say it on the bottle.
Oh no, absolutely, yeah.
It's it has 7 grams RS.
Okay.
So
small amount.
Yeah. And I mean, when it comes to alcohol, I mean, Riesling should be a low alcohol wine, and this one has 12.5% of alcohol, and it's not like the Pinot Noir wines where are so heavy when it comes to alcohol, like 14 degrees. So I mean, that's the way I like it. So
yeah, also nice and refreshing in the sun.
Totally.
Yeah, totally.
But
totally, that's true.
This wine's a little leaner fruited, more limes, more zest of like lemons, limes.
Yeah.
Maybe some green apple as well, young peach. But the acid is like an overtone in the whole thing. But really, like it's the sense of acidity comes from the fruit very nicely. It's delicious, very refreshing.
And I mean, it's this. I mean, you tasted the difference between the Alte Reben and this one here. So the Alte Reben is picked here, where we are standing right now, and also parts of the other group.
Okay.
And so we have another vineyard there, and the original Eisbruch is far more down to the river. So and the wines are down there are between 50 to 70 years old. I mean, which is also kind of an extraordinary age, but not so old as the wines up here. So, and I mean, you just see this, you just taste the difference. I mean, the grapes were nearly harvested at the same time, like maybe there's 2 days between them when we harvested them. But still, I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, that's the old wines and the newer wines. So.
Yeah, the Alte Reben is kind of a little fleshier, a little more open right now. This is a little more focused, a little leaner, a little edgy or nervous, right? Like it's got a little bit of tension, but tasty. So
the thing is with wines from here, because we have so much slate in the soil, the wines from us need, because the way I make wine, wine needs time to develop in the bottle. And I mean, you can see it right now. I mean, this wine is already extraordinary, but it will be in 1 year. It will be even better. And it's just because it's so much slate in here, and it just needs time. I mean, wine is such a nice, beautiful, natural product that it just needs time to ripen. So
awesome. Oh.
So do most of your friends appreciate older wines, or do they still want to drink? They still want to drink the young wines.
It's funny because most of the time the average German consumer would not enjoy an older wine. It's like the old wines we have, like we exported these, like the 88 Auslese or 89 Auslese. Most of the time we sell these to America. American market seems to be appreciate these old wines more than German markets do. I mean, still there are a lot of people here who enjoy old wines, but not so much anymore. I mean, like the younger generations, they don't know how to handle an old wine, and sometimes the people are used to like the discount stuff, like which is like, you know, the not so good wines. And then they think if these wines are like 1 or 2 years old, I mean, they are just for the trash.
Right.
So but if you have a handmade Riesling or handmade wine, then it's, I mean, these wines are I mean, made to be like not forever, but maybe forever, but for a long time. And normally we say like the dry wines we have, they are really good up to 7 to 8, 9 years maybe. Okay. And when it comes to like the medium dry wines, they are good for like up to 15 years, maybe 20. And when it comes to sweeter wines, they're up to like 30, 40, 50 years. So this is really fun stuff. So
yeah, definitely.
All right. So, as I said before, probably we're gonna try medium dry wine now.
Excellent. How are we doing on time? It's in the top right-hand corner. 12 minutes left. All right, good. Cool.
It's getting dangerous.
Yeah,
extreme wine tasting.
My way downhill. There we go.
Yeah.
If you fall, you fall.
Yeah, it's literally like.
But I have 4 posts to grab. I have 4 chances to grab a post.
Oh yeah, it's 4 chances, and then there's no chance.
Have you ever fallen? Not this.
No.
Okay.
No. And I mean, in vineyards like these, you have to move really carefully, not so fast. Take your time. Have every time a hand on a stick.
Sure.
And just take your time and then move slow.
And I suppose you'd learn from a child, even, like if you slip, grab everything right away, right?
Lay flat.
Grab whatever you can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're
a goner.
A goner, right? Exactly. So we have here 213. In German, it's called Liebling vom Chef, which means darling, or the boss's darling, or whatever we want to call it. Okay. What do you want to call it?
That sounds good. Yeah, the boss's darling is good.
So, and it's a medium dry wine, or again a Riesling, late harvest. Basically, it's another thing. Nearly all of my wines are late harvest, but when it comes to the dry wines, we are not putting the Spätlese on the label, because Germans do not understand the term Spätlese. They consider it to be a Spätlese that it should be a sweeter wine. So anyway, this is a late harvest medium dry from the Vineyard. So we are right here in a Großlager called Vineyard, and the Eisbruch, as well as the Batterieberg or the Allergrub, or what. Then there's also the Fairturm. Is just parts of the Vineyard. So and we harvest this wine a bit more to the direction of Enkircher, and this is the way. It's called Darling from the Boss because this is my dad's favorite wine, and if it's like nice weather outside and he sits in the evening with a glass of like this wine, he likes it, enjoys it really much, and then with a good decent food, that's really awesome. Like. And the medium dry wines are not so common, I guess, in America, right?
Yeah, you don't see them too much, and I think it's a marketing problem as much as anything else, right? That we like the sweetness scale on the back,
right?
I think, and adding more German words to the label only helps the people who already love German wine and know what they want to buy.
Exactly.
So
exactly. I mean, it's like these medium dry wines are, I mean, good to drink when you're with some nice friends and enjoying yourselves. And also they are pretty nice if you have some kind of decent food, like if you shoot one of these wild boars and have a nice cranberry sauce with it, this is really delicious. So yeah, this is something, so enjoy, guys.
We drank a good bit of Riesling last night with Ackerman at Weingut Ackerman, and they cooked some boar for us, and
awesome.
And Riesling goes great with it. Yeah.
You know how we call these wild boars also when we have them on the plate?
No.
It's like winemaker's revenge.
Oh, I have heard that. Yeah. That's a good name for a dish.
It's like a really problem, as I said before, like wild boars caused a lot of damage in 2011. In 2012, they eat like a whole vineyard of myself. So so like in total, I would harvest around about 1,000 liters. So and I couldn't harvest even 1 liter. So because they eat everything.
That's amazing.
And we try to use different. Jesus,
take that, Chaz. Slipping about. Extreme tasting.
You spilled wine all over me.
Yeah.
Nice.
I smell delicious.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, how do you like the wine so far?
This one smells more like pears and peaches to me, like just a little bit of peach on the outside from the sweetness, I think. And, yeah, but still like young, fresh pear fruit, mostly on the nose.
I have a hard time with the noses out here. The breeze is too much, and it's like it smells like stony minerality. Well, we are surrounded by slate.
Yeah.
I think it maybe it's just my brain going there. I don't know, but flavor-wise, the sugar really works well with the acid on this wine. Like,
for sure.
This is just so easy to drink. Like, I see why it's the boss's favorite, right?
Yeah.
It's,
and you get a lot of those really nice peach flavors that, that come with that sweetness that round things out a little bit, and the acidity still stays nice, crisp note. It reminds me more like red apples, like a real fresh, perfectly ripe red apple.
Ripe and delicious.
On the acidity, it's not too tart. There's not a lot of going on, but little feeling of dryness.
And it's also like sometimes it's my imagination. I started to think that you can smell tobacco somewhere. I mean, it's maybe chocolate-wise, like a real strong, flavor. So I don't know.
And kind of see that, but that's easy to say after somebody tells you. So
yeah.
And I mean,
well, that's really delicious. This is. And did this make it to America?
Not yet. So we had another one. It's called Esche Vineyard. Barnaby Tuttle from the Titanic Wine Company here imported it. And greetings to the guys from Titanic.
Yeah. So, Olga and Barnaby will probably end up seeing this.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And but this one didn't make it. So I mean, for these guys, it's difficult because they want to import more wines, but I mean, they have to react on the market. So
they can't
maybe
bring everything. So.
Maybe one day, we find one of these wines. So.
Yeah.
Well, look for some of their other semi-sweet wines because these are really special. So 2013 has been a great year for that.
Yeah.
I think just the off-dry, right, or the Cabernet Spätlese level wines are really special. So
I mean, for Oregon, it was also a really good vintage, was it?
It was a really tough vintage.
It was a tough vintage.
Yeah, there was a lot of rot, and we were just talking. I
haven't tasted any of the wines yet.
We were talking with Reinhold Potzen the other day, and he said where the grapes will split and the bugs will come and lay eggs, and you'll get big vinegar infections in the grapes. We had a big problem with that in 2013 too. It was hard for a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah. But like every year, right? There are great wines out of every year. Yeah.
There's going to be superstars.
Exactly. Bad wines out of the best
exactly.
too.
So
maybe the last wine.
And we're back.
Wine number 4. Big scene change.
Yeah.
Where are we now?
We are in the Steffensberg right now.
So what led you to the decision to we should up and move and just come see the vineyard?
I mean because we tried 3 wines from the Zepp Vineyard and the Eisbruch and the Eller group, but I thought the last wine is from the Steffensberg, so it would be nice to taste it directly here in this surrounding. So
yeah, good idea. Really cool setup here. There's right on the edge of a hillside that overlooks 4 valleys.
Five
valleys. Excuse me. Sorry. And this table commemorates that and has the names of all of them. So it's really quite a wonderful view.
Big chunk of slate.
Yeah. But we got the vineyard right behind us, and
exactly. So we are tasting. I mean, you probably know that Mosel is also famous for sweet wines, and so, in my opinion, a good wine tasting closes all the time with a sweet wine. So, or as you guys said, a low alcohol wine. We're having right now 2013 Riesling Spätlese, right directly from the Steffensberg, and yeah, I mean, it glances out of, again, minerality as all our wines, wild fermented, cold fermented, and a nice, well-balanced sweetness and acidity. And yeah, this Steffensberg is kind of a backyard vineyard, so it's directly suited to our wine estate. And you've seen in the other vineyards that we have a lot of blue slate in there. But in the Steffensberg we have a lot of red slate, and which makes a different soil type, which makes in the end another kind of wine. So the sweet wines are here in the Mosel most of the time low in alcohol. So the first wine we tried has had 12.5% of alcohol, and this one has 8.
Okay.
So I mean, you can drink up. I mean, even you guys, you can drink up 2 bottles without a problem. So
we have.
Yeah.
Cheers. Yeah, on this trip a couple times. Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoy our wines. I mean, hopefully these wines will also be available in Oregon or in America. I'd like to see these wines.
Yeah, if you're watching this and you're an importer, like I think outside of, or no, a distributor outside of Oregon or Washington, those are the only states you're in right now, right?
Washington State, Oregon, California.
And California. Okay, so if you're not on the West,
and I think New Orleans, Texas.
Oh,
nice.
you're getting out. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Okay, well there's the list. If you're not on that list, send this guy an email.
Yeah, or please contact the guys from Teutonic Wines.
Yep.
So pretty awesome guys to deal with, awesome people.
Yeah.
So enjoy the wines.
A little bit of the saline-y, like almost like a salty mineral edge to it, but it's got like an orange melon thing. Like
Definitely
smells really like a ripe cantaloupe.
A little bit of citrus.
A little bit of citrus, yeah. It's
and you can't see from the camera, but this valley goes straight down into the village, and the side valley it's not directly facing the Mosel either.
But this is completely south facing. So this is north, this is south. So, wow. Oh, you have here this.
Oh, right.
So this is also what the Steffensberg is really famous for. It's because it's completely south facing and has sun from the beginning of the morning till the end of the day. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So always one of the more easy spots to get ripe then, I guess, right?
Even good, or very good for sweeter wines. And I mean, you're tasting these. The sweetness is not kind of candy bar sweet. It's a really nice sweetness, which makes you like, okay, I want to have another glass of wine. So
totally,
it's pretty awesome actually.
Yeah.
And if you have a nice cheese with it, this would really be also awesome fitting with that. Or some Dungeness crab. Jesus.
That sounds yeah.
When we eating.
That sounds really good. The acidity here doesn't have like the really tart or like sour character to it. It's more of like a delicate lift, kind of cleaning up the acidity or cleaning up the sweetness late. But similar to previous wines, the fruit flavors here are really pure. Probably a benefit of your the slow fermentation really give you a chance for these aromas and.
And if you have a wine needs a nice acidity, if you have a wine with no acidity at all, it has no back. I mean, it needs a back. It needs something to grab in your tongue, and if it has a nice acidity, this is the way to go. So, this is thankful to slate. So, I mean, without slate, we are nothing. So,
one thing I really like about it is there's a juicy texture to this.
Definitely.
Like it's not overly weighty like some Spätleses can be, or has a a lot of like thick texture, I guess is the way to say it. It's just juicy and very easy to drink. Yeah, delicious.
A friend of mine, he has like a small kid, and it's like 5 or 6, and the kid smelled in the glass from this wine, and the kids just accidentally said, "This is how grapes are smelling." So and the kid for sure is completely right. So it's the way when we harvest, this is the way the grapes are smelling. So this is awesome.
Yeah, just real delicate flavors all the way across the palate, like a real light sense to it, which is really pleasant. So
some of the 13s, the acid can be like really high, like over the top of the fruit, or a bit too much. This is in a really nice place. Like it's already drinking very, very nicely. So yeah, delicious wine.
Yeah. So we were talking a little bit beforehand. Like one question I like to ask when a new generation is taking over a winery, kind of like a thanks dad kind of question. Like, I was wondering what your father did or what changes he made when he took over the estate that you're grateful or that you're really happy that he made those changes.
So my father, he was taking over the business when he was like 16. That was like in the 1960s, and he was during that time it was very common to have different grape varieties like Riesling, obviously, but also Müller-Thurgau, Kerner, Reichensteiner, all these grape varieties. And my father already started during that time, which was not very common, just to focus on Riesling, because on his opinion it was like Riesling is the best grape variety for the Mosel Valley, and which is like a not common thing in the world, so it's like a unique thing. So he decided just to focus on Riesling. He took out all the other wines which aren't Riesling and planted more Riesling in order to have more Riesling. And this is, I'm very thankful. So we are nearly 100% Riesling wine estate, and this is I like best about because it's so cool. Riesling is the best grape variety in the world. So.
Yeah, and it's nice. Then when you take over, the vines are mature and producing well, and
exactly.
That's a great position to be in.
And he was also already focusing during that time, which was also not very common, on quality. During that time, it was very common to focus on quantity. You could sell whatever you had, even if it was not very good wine. But my father said, so maybe this works for another few years, but at one point this will stop, and people will want more quality. So, and he started focusing on more quality, and and I'm hopefully continuing these kinds of tradition, and yeah.
I suppose during that era, a lot of the old vines are at risk, right? A lot of people would have torn out your Eisbruch vineyard for higher yield, right?
Yeah.
So that's cool that didn't happen.
Exactly. Yeah. So guys, thank you very much for doing this show in Germany.
Well, thanks for this. This has been an extreme.
It's an extreme edition.
Yes.
The first part of the show was just
was
hilarious to shoot. Yeah.
Yes. Also the hottest episode of Wine is Serious Business we've done yet too.
We've done some pretty warm ones in the apartment.
Oh,
cooking in the
I
apartment.
still think that was probably
that was it. Yeah.
Sun from two directions. It's good. Is there any question you'd like to ask our audience before we wrap up?
Have you ever ride a monorail?
Good question.
I was really looking forward to it. I saw Barnaby and Olga's video they posted.
They did it. Awesome, guys.
Like, I gotta do this. So yeah.
It's a good time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
See you. Bye.